Okay. Just make sure I don't have like a waiting room or anything. Got a few more minutes. Let me see. Destiny. Thank you for sending me the videos.
Yay.
Hi.
So stoked. Share your YouTube channel with us.
I will,
So
I
now
will.
subscribe.
Yeah. I love yours, honestly. It's my go-to. I'm like, Destiny J Prada YouTube. We gotta go in here and scope the video, share this one. It's nice.
Oh, you're amazing. It's fun to do.
Yeah,
It's
it
good to
is.
have. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yay, so stoked. Where are you at right now?
I'm in Massachusetts, Gloucester. It's like this tiny little beach town that's very old and really cool to look at. And there's some crazy buildings and it's cold. And we're like right on the beach and it's probably, I think it's getting down to 16 degrees tonight. The wind is blaring right now and these black clouds are rolling in. And I'm just like, okay, I think it might snow.
So cool.
Yeah,
Yay.
that's pretty cool. That's
Thank you.
really interesting where because like the moon's really big right now and the tide it just went so far out and then there's all these like different random channels of like water that are probably like a couple inches thick and the birds are going insane and it's just from the time that I've been sitting here and watching the tides move with the moon it's like this is the most intense movement I've seen. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you're high up there. You're like
You
farther
know,
from the equator, so you're getting more
yeah.
movement. And this moon is nuts over here, and we're getting some crazy tides. I can't even imagine what it's like there, but
Yeah, that's super cool.
thank
Hey
you.
man, what's up?
Hey, hey.
Cozy.
Oh my gosh, I'm about to go out in the cold. It is freezing as anything right now.
Yeah, it is. I can go out there for a couple seconds and I'm like, oh, I thought Washington was cold, but the like over here cold is way different. So it's bone chilling. It hits the bones.
They call it brick for a reason.
Yeah. All right, so
Oh,
it's 4 o'clock on the dot. We can get started here in a second. I was writing down and memorizing how to present Canva while having my notes up and just showing Canva. And so it's maybe I'll get it in my brain this time, this one time. All right. Yay! It's Sandy scene. No, I'm gonna go back to Washington. I gotta go move my house. I got I'm gonna go sell my cars. I'm gonna sell all the big stuff and I'm just gonna pack as much as I can into like a tiny pod. And then I know it's crazy, but I think me and my cousin are gonna drive across the country in winter time. So that's gonna be cool. All right. Does anybody have any wins to share? Let's get it kicked off with some wins as I navigate sharing screen.
I can share a win.
Hmm.
So, even though I just um experienced one of those clients who was talking about the water, I shared
Mhm.
so much information, supported her, guided her, even share a little bit of my like real like mentorship know-how with her. And she invested with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Was very apologetic after I drew the line and, told her what for. I'm going right now to another client who is buying with me 100%. So excited. He's going to get hopefully a Nespa first and
Mm-hmm.
then K8. So I'm really
Mm-hmm.
excited for him and obviously filtration before K8. and also wants to introduce me to a dental hygienist who
Yes.
yeah, who will probably also really be interested. So I'm excited to meet these people. They're really cool and talk to them and just brave the cold because I know it's going to be so worth it.
That's amazing. I'm seeing more of a pattern, a lot of us getting into included our filtration, getting into like big facilities like dental hygienists and crazy stuff like that, which is really cool. I'm so excited for you. And yes, a lot of times you planted the seed and you watered the seed and you gave it the autonomy to make a choice. So good job on you and being like fucking always an epic badass service woman that just knows her stuff. You know your stuff. Okay. Anybody else got some wins? Hi, Celia.
Hi, I have
Dominique.
something.
Ooh,
It's been a
hello.
minute. Hi everybody. It's been a minute since I've been on. Hello. I'm alive. I'm here. I'm currently setting up my Christmas tree while my little one is sleeping because it's 10 o'clock at night. But I have a win. It was kind of like I was hitting this roadblock as to like how am I gonna share this to the people that are around me, in social media, and also like how do I do this organically, which is kind of like my style of doing things. And then I
Mhm.
randomly got called by a lady who is doing a magazine for the swimming pool that is around because everybody's like mandated in Holland to get a swim diploma from like the age of 4 on because we have a lot of water around us. So it's like mandated that every child knows how to swim. So the swimming pool is like the hubbub, right? And so she ended up finding my information on or my wellness on the Google. So I was like, well, she's like, do you want to promote your wellness? And I was like, well, I don't really like promoting for my massage, but I was like, but I do really want to promote about my water business that I'm doing. She was like, oh, what? Tell me more. So lo and behold, I'm going to be doing like a spread, a quarter page spread on the magazine that's going to go out to 6,000 homes, promoting my water. So our water. So that's exciting. I was like, sometimes you don't really understand why things work the way that they work, but then something just happens to go your way. So I think that's pretty awesome. So yeah, that's my win.
I love how I was mind blown that like all the kids have to learn to swim. And then it came in with like, actually, I'm writing an article about our water that's going to 6,000 homes in one
Yeah,
sitting. Oh my
yeah.
God.
So fingers crossed something happens there. But yeah, it's so great to see you all. I'm happy to be on. So thank you.
That's epic. I freaking love that for you. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hmm. Anybody else? What's up, Sandy? What's up, Celia? How you guys doing? I got the blue bottle 2 liter and I love it. I have a
I
stainless steel 2 liter, but just chugging out of this is so nice. Sorry, go ahead.
I just was on a Pure Way call and
Yeah.
this lady shared with the group about a documentary that somebody went all around filming with like different experts and everything. And I believe it's something that you have to like subscribe to or pay and you're not allowed to screen record or do anything like that. You're allowed to like share the trailer, but like it's kind of like it's a way to like onboard, you buy passes and things like that to view this 2 hour documentary about, I think, hydrogen water, and it's called
Mm.
Drowning in Sickness. And apparently it has something like a 90 something percent of like conversion rate of people watching this 2 hour documentary and
Girl.
realizing the importance of good water. And so she said, like, I haven't signed up myself yet. I literally just found this out an hour ago, but yeah, you can like buy passes for other people that are good for 24 hours. And apparently, like, it's a good way to get everybody's information and get the
Mhm.
like wheel turning. And Alex was talking about how like documentaries put people in a trance state and really like just really get to the core of humans,
Mm.
And so I just thought that was a cool thing to share with you guys. I'm gonna do it, later today or maybe tomorrow, but it's just the website drowninginsickness.com. And it's just something I'm really excited to check out, and it might be really good to share with everybody. on this journey, So
That's so awesome. First of all, your tie-dye is sick. And then, yeah, I will say a documentary changed my life. So, like, legitimately, a documentary about soil changed my life forever. So it can, like, getting into that immersive state where you hop on like a call or do a documentary and really like dedicate, like get emotionally pulled into these things. Like, okay, this is a resonance, especially about the water that is a really, so the right heart has the time and attention to give to it, it will speak to them very loudly.
it's funny because I was like, oh, maybe I should wait till next week and check it out so I sound a little more intelligent. But now that I know that you are like life changed, I mean, this was the perfect time. And I wore the perfect shirt.
Yeah,
I actually put
seriously.
this on. I was in my jammies and I was like, the last time I wore my jammies to a Zoom call and talked, both Annie and Amelia posted it, and I was so embarrassed. So I told myself, no more jammies on the Zoom. So I just threw this on and I was like, oh, it's Torrance call. She's gonna love this if I go on.
Yeah, you know
So
my
this was
speed.
actually this was a gift to my sons when it came to them when they were too it was too big for them. And
Hmm.
Nico's like, we should take it back because it's a store on Maui. One of their friends' dads owns a store jamming on Maui. And he was like, we should take it back. And I was like, should we? Like and now they're technically big enough for it, but I'm like, mine, I've been wearing it for years. Sorry. And it
Yeah,
never lost its vibrancy. It's like the best.
it is. I mean, there's a few people on this call that are affiliated and know jammin' tie-dyes. All right. Anybody else want to share anything? And then we'll figure out screen sharing. We'll get jump started on this. I got a good amount of stuff to go, so if not, let's roll. Share. Share, share screen options. Okay, so this works. So, can you guys also see my notes, or do you just see do you just see the presentation?
Just the presentation.
Yoo-hoo! Crispy! Cool.
Yeah. Are you gonna go it? Are you? No, you're in present mode, it looks like, I think, right?
I did it one way on Canva, I did it a different way. Now I just wrote this way down, so like maybe this will be the the way of doing it because it's like I love writing notes. It's who I am. I love like developing something in my mind and workshopping it and like seeing this arc and play out. And I'm just like, okay, I gotta have my notes. So here we go. I also just got over a major flu, so we'll talk about that. I'm sorry if it caught my lung out. I'm not sorry. I'm sexy, but anyways. Vital vulnerability. So this is like how the heck do we normalize this human experience? Because I just make crazy choices that make me question my reality. And then I'm like, but these are the choices that are moving my life forward in the direction I want to go. And it doesn't feel normal. So I'm trying to normalize it. So this is my process with you guys. Okay. So there's been this like feeling of off for me. And it kind of like makes me go into this MIA mode. I don't know if you guys know, like my posting, my stories, my things are just kind of like, little non-existent. And it's kind of like was really tough for me to process. And what I came to the conclusion, which I'll share with you like throughout this whole thing and how I got there, is that the feeling off, the feeling of like a little bit of contraction is like actual proof that we're expanding. So if my energy is in this massive transition, then my energy starts to speak louder than my strategy. I kind of like get in the emotional body and it becomes a really transformative season of my life for me. The upcoming move across the country, the flu portal, they really just made me go MIA on my social media. Not from a area of laziness or lack or motivation per se, but really like my identity and everything that I'm doing in my real life right now is evolving faster than my action, and I can like even keep up to process with. My nervous system is like lagging behind me. So if we're having identity shifts, then most likely the transformation is going to be happening faster than we can express. It's happening for me faster than I can express. And that's resulting in friction showing up everywhere for me. So this is like, for me, it came down to, okay, this is a little bit of shame and like me thinking, okay, I need to be more consistent. Why am I not being consistent? And what I've, come to my conclusion about is that as this winter storm is rolling in, it's like reading the weather and it's a skill. And my weather right now is like scattered showers, hit or miss here or there. And so, how do we interpret our internal forecast before it takes us out? So I'm learning to read my inner weather as like the season of introspection is coming, because that's what winter really reminds me about, is like darkness, transition, introspection, reflection. So what's the weather in your body right now? Are you feeling tropical vibes? Are you feeling winter? Are you feeling just, so when the season shifts in our lives, so does like our shame spiral. It's how our nervous system acts up in the moment that life slows down. And this is all coming up because I was on a mentorship call and my mentor said something along the lines of, you're inconsistent because you're only showing one version of yourself. And I was like, okay, well, what's real, raw, and true for me right now? What was real, raw, and true is like, this toggle of like, I don't want to do this, I want to do this. And it was really like my nervous system calling me out before I even had the chance to call myself out. So, inconsistency and what I desired, I realized isn't necessarily a flaw, it's a feedback loop. So, as I'm learning leadership and shame from Brene Brown, I'm reading her book, Dare to Lead, right now. I realized that I have some shame around being inconsistent. And so here's what I know. I second guess myself and I get that feeling in my chest that's like hot, or my gut is all like tight. And I'm really realizing that it's not necessarily like something I can vibe my way out of. It's more like a neuroscience thing that's happening inside of me. And really, what happens when this shame or this like second guessing ourselves and this doubt pops up, it activates what we call the dorsal cingulate cortex in your brain, and it's actually tied to physical pain. And so, what the wildest thing about this is that that region that sits, that where the cingulate cortex sits, it's directly beneath the pathway of like your crown chakra, and it actually loops from like the back to the front. It's like right under where like your crown chakra. It's the portal of energy flowing upward out of you, inspiration. It's like your energy column, like the Kundalini. So your energy can't rise or inspire and it can't circulate when you have this activated interior cingulate cortex that comes from a function of shame. And the more I'm learning about fear and shame, it's a lot of things that I face in an entrepreneur journey is a function of those things. And it's just crazy to see how physically and energetically it actually blocks our crown, our inspiration at the top of our energetic column. So shame actually hurts, right? I'm like second guessing myself. It actually hurts. And the truth is that it has evolved as a social detect or a survival detection. It's, so it's a natural fight or fight. It's our brain trying to protect us. Our amygdala fires, the fight or flight freeze happens, and this cuts down our creativity and our visibility, our willingness to be visible, to be online. So there's a lot of like, my energy is saying go, I want to do this, I know I want to do this, but my body is hitting the brakes. And so this is like the real reason that strategy collapses during expansion, and kind of where I'm realizing, okay, this is where I'm retracting. So let's check my notes here. So yeah, so that also produces cortisol and adrenaline, which can obviously, you guys know, feel like danger. It suppresses the prefrontal cortex, again, creativity, planning, storytelling, that channel of energy. And that feeling in me of I don't want to is often preceding something way bigger. Because I know that shame is not a character flaw or fear or whatever we want to call it, procrastination, perfectionism, all those are functions of shame and fear. It's not a character flaw in who you are and who I am. It's just a biological alarm going off in my body. And it fires exactly when you're becoming someone new. So the brain detects the rejection like physical danger. And if you feel the fear or shame showing up online, you're not broken, you're human. And like, congratulations, we're in evolution era. We are going to evolve and grow and be brought up to this new feeling over and over and over again. So let's see. I think I'm moving on here. That's what I got for that page. Done. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Yeah, so the fear spikes before big moves. The brain mistakes, and this is what's going on with me, the visibility, the vulnerability with danger and stop, slow down. And this is kind of like, I feel like the best way I could transmute this to you guys is as a mom, and please let me know in the chat if I'm not alone, because there's like some crazy statistic that like 90% of parents do this, right? We're sitting there, we're like watching our kids sleep or something, and we're like, oh my God, they are just like the most beautiful. I'm so in love, just like dopamine, oxytocin, just so much good raw love and joy in us. And then 2 seconds later, we imagine something horrible happening to them, like a tragedy, and it's incredibly vivid and it's very uncomfortable. And what happened is we just went from a massive state of joy and vulnerability to now to nope, not safe to be that vulnerable, not safe to hold that much joy. Let's protect ourselves by coming in with the worst case scenario, the fear. And that was like, I just crazy. Some 90% of people do that with their children. It's intense. So what if that resistance, that foreboding of joy is, the nervous system preparing for expansion? For me, winter has been honestly like the most dehydrating season for me, and not just for my body, but for my purpose, for my clarity, consistency. And what really comes down to is like water is the antidote for that stagnation. So I'm transmuting this live with you guys. This like the motions are obstacles. They're indicators, the shame, the fear, the contraction show where identity is evolving. My full body no to posting wasn't a block. It was really just a signpost for like, okay, this is where you're at biologically in your body. Deciding to move across the country is totally like stirred up the survival response. And I want you guys to think about what is your bigger identity? What is your next big step, right? What's that big identity that's a little scary for you? When we choose this bigger identity, new environment, new business, new frequency, the old patterns flare up to hold to the familiar. Not because we're not ready or we're not qualified, but because we're literally evolving. Again, we are in evolution era, right? This is something continuously happening to me. It's just level upon level upon level. So with that big identity in your mind, that next level identity that maybe feels a little shaky, can you walk yourself through what it might feel like physically, emotionally, in your mind to step into that bigger identity, to actually take the steps to do it? Because when we're stepping into these transitions, it can get a little shaky. We're stepping into new vital ground in business and leadership and water and our voice, which requires choosing alignment even when fear says don't. So the same way the cortisol dries up the cells and the water in your body, fear dries up your voice. And the shame contracts just like dehydration. So water is the expansion. Water is holding me through all of this, and same as shame is the contraction. The water is 100% these continued activations in me. I was in a season physically like super sick and feeling this contraction of like losing my voice, and I was really not drinking enough water. So we are gonna turn fear into full expression. So my resistance wasn't about the content, it was about being witnessed during massive change. So I wasn't scared of posting, feared being misunderstood. And the leadership isn't about like perfect reception or like how I want people to perceive me. It's just about going into full expression, being the observer herself, witnessing emotions without identifying them. When I observed the shame instead of reacting to it, I softened. I said, "How hard can it be?" And I picked up my phone and crushed out some things real quick. And just softened into that. So where are oh, did the chat box go away? Let me make it go away. Sorry guys. My glitch. Okay. My wind is crazy out there. Give me 1 second. My screen is going very slowly. So you guys know people don't buy perfection, which again is fueled by fear. It's a function of fear. It's a function of shame. Um, my screen is still glitching. I'm sorry, guys. And you guys give me a thumbs up if I'm glitching or not. I'm totally glitching on my end.
It's frozen for me, but
Sorry. Am I roboting?
I can hear you. My screen's just frozen.
Okay. Okay. I'll just yeah, mine is glitching out, but it's also like it sounds like it's 20-mile-per-hour winds outside. Okay. So I'm not okay. Oh my God, my screen's glitching out hard, you guys. I'm gonna try and change my Wi-Fi. Type in the chat if I'm glitching or not. My computer is stuck. Technical difficulties. Yeah, it's saying unresponsive. Great. Bummer. I'm glitched out.
What's going on your end?
Sorry,
I
guys.
can, we can also hear you perfectly fine. Maybe you can open Canva on your phone and read your notes from there.
My screen is just like completely glitched out. I can't even see anything. Horrible. Uh, say what? You guys can hear me though?
Yeah, we hear you perfectly.
Okay. Well, I'll just talk to you. Oh, it's not responding. I'm like, you guys can hear me, so we're good. Okay. Let's just go in if you guys can hear me. Oh my God, Zoom is not responding. No, go away. It's responding. Cool. So, what stretchy identity upgrade is activating you? For me, it's moving cross country, taking on an epic like bookkeeping job, being paid dank money, talking to people that actually have money about this business. It's just absolutely insane. And wanting to like show up a certain way. And what I'm realizing is that like it really has to come from a place of resonance and I can't just force myself to post. If I don't want to post, I don't want to post. And there's something getting in there that I need to activate, right? And really leaning into like my humanity. It's okay. It's okay to be human. And so one of the first things that I did was hydrate. The brain needs hydration to really turn off the amygdala alarm. Water helps your nervous system re-regulate, and I truly was not drinking enough water. Um, yeah, we got to stay hydrated. Next, how to stay in alignment during massive change. So, the move has been the ultimate brain training, alignment over fear, the nervous system, um, really just being present, leaning into that. And so, I wanted to give you guys a couple tools that I've been leaning into that are really, really basic and profound. I think we really underestimate the power of like taking one single nice deep breath. So I do what I call in is like, I don't really want to call it the shame check-in, but that's what I wrote there. Find a better word for it, but that's what it is. It's a check-in with yourself. So I ask myself, what am I feeling? What story am I telling? And what's true? And then what's the smallest brave action that I could take in accordance with what's true right now for me? What am I feeling? What story am I telling around those feelings? What's true? And what's the smallest brave action to take from there? Second tool is a nervous system reset. That's where the breathing comes in. The 60-second exhale, the feet on the ground, naming the sensation, touching your heart, whatever it is. Cue, I am like safe to be seen. That is the goal. And we all have, you guys probably all have your own ways that you check in with yourself. Though you're resetting your nervous system. Fuck, resetting my nervous system for me is going and playing in the soil. You know, some of you it's playing on the ocean. So, what is that check-in you could do for yourself, the nervous system reset, and then work on a micro visibility. So, micro visibility, I did this the other day. Super simple post, just very what was going on with me, just very connection, sharing one sentence, sharing a photo with no content, like or like context, sharing a moment instead of a lesson. I always feel this pressure, this grand scheme to like really create a lesson and a powerful post. And it's like just share the moment. So, and share before judging the result. That's my micro visibility practice. Type in there, don't judge the result, share the moment, maybe a little photo, super basic. And I've been loving it, right? And what I'm realizing is it's building more safety in my body, and the easier it becomes to share my life and my story and my missions and my offers, the more I do that. So water stayed consistent in the season that really wasn't. It really like using our machine brought me so much back to my body and to my home. And like, this is what I love, drinking it, making the hypochlorous acid, cleaning. It really reminded me that like my body's adjusting and identity's adjusting and life is adjusting. And water was the one thing that's like, I'm still here. I'm choosing vitality. You're choosing yourself. Um, and that's been my anchor along this like transmission of how to show up as a real raw human. And there's really no how to, which is like the craziest thing. So, Our resistance isn't wrong, it's a message. In this line of work with this team that we have, it is bound to happen. Resistance means that your old identity can't hold your new truth. This is evolution era. The resistance, the evolving is a message. Your old identity can't hold the new truth. Everything that we do lives on the other side of our truest self-expression. The water, the sovereignty, the vitality, the business, everything lives on the other side of self-expression. And our opportunity, the things that we offer, isn't some performance. This is like we have gold. This is humanity. This is stories. This is vitality. This is truth, restoration, regeneration. I'm really beginning to release the pressure to look and sound some way. I mean, me, you, like, I am me and you are you, and you are the only one of you, and I am the only one of me in this whole world, in this whole universe that is you. So, like, what's up? Our opportunity is humanity and truth. It's not performance. And I'm releasing that pressure, like, to perform, to look some way, to show up a specific way. Water has really helped my body catch up with my identity. Hydration is like the nervous system capacity, right? How much electricity, voltage, energy we can hold. And our nervous system capacity really informs our emotional capacity of like how we step into these new identities. And these new identities, this emotional capacity is really allowing us to become more visible, and have that visibility capacity, which really ties into how vulnerable, how comfortable are we being vulnerable and being public and our truest self-expression of ourselves? Um, yeah, cruising, cruising. So before showing up online, I really like to remind myself to drink water. Because hydration, it really gives me some courage, some energy, some voltage, some charge. Because if our cells aren't hydrated, then there's an issue. So there is this like ascension of the energy and then the emotion and then the strategy and coming in with that resonance. So you can ask yourself like what's my energy? Where is it at? What emotion is here and what strategy is going to be aligning with that for to pour into my business? This is like a micro check-in. Where's my energy? What emotion is here and what strategy aligns with it? So shame and fear are proof of humanity, not failure. They aren't proof that something's wrong. They're proof that we're human. They are proof our nervous system cares about connection. It is a literal proof that you are a heart-led individual with integrity. It is proof that we're stepping into something bigger here. It's proof of your humanity and your heart of gold. So every time we work on how we speak to ourselves, we create new pathways. Every time we work on stories we tell ourselves, and most of all, how do you speak to yourself? How do you speak to yourself when creating content, talking to a stranger about water? What's your internal dialogue? Is it stress about botching it? Is it amped? Is it pumped? Is it inspired? What's that? How do you speak to yourself in these moments? Or whatever moment it is that you feel like is a bottleneck for you right now, how are you speaking to yourself in that moment? When we work on speaking to ourselves and the stories that we tell ourselves, we create new pathways, new courage, new vital ground to work from. So this month, I've been deciding just to show up as a woman that's moving and evolving and feeling, not necessarily polished, not necessarily pouring my heart into my content creation, just showing up in the season that I am. And that's really what vital vulnerability is. Showing up as like, okay, I'm gonna let this water in my home be a ritual. The drinking of the water, the spraying of the hypochlorous acid, using a mouthwash, like washing my hands, sipping the water, misting my face with 6.0, freaking doing the hypochlorous acid mouthwash, just resetting my field. And this water ritual continues to bring me back home. The wash, sip, mist, just continually over and over again. So It is not fear, it is the judgment of the human self. And this is why I'm like, this is a heavy hitter for me, guys, because I am like, okay, so this is all just like a function of something else. That's a judgment of my human self that I'm realizing, okay, how to really let go of that and transmute out of that. Vital vulnerability is leadership, and it's mostly truth over performance because it's not fear, it's the judgment of the human self that brings us all bring that brings all of this online that activates it all. The movement that we are participating in with this water, with this business, with Evolutionera, with restoring, physical health, financial health, and spiritual health in hundreds and hundreds of homes. We chose to lead in this movement. And what I'm realizing is that this movement is an extension of us. It is not us. And through sharing about these things that we have, the water that we have, we create this like personal brand. But that personal brand is like a facet of you. It is not all of you. It can actually be manufactured into whatever you want it to look like. If aesthetic stuff is your style, if you want a certain look, that's all good. If you don't care and you want filters here, filters there, whatever, not, your brand is a facet of you. It's a facet of the movement that you're building. And so when we give people the opportunity to see that, guess what? They get to choose to opt in or they get to choose to opt out. And that personal brand, that's showing up line, not content creation, that's not all of you. That's giving the viewer a window of who you are and what you offer. And then it comes to a point, okay, that you're setting them up to opt in or opt out. If they opt out, cool. If they opt in, they get to actually meet you, taking the pressure off of sharing all of you, portraying all of your heart on social media. It is just a glimpse of who you are because there is no way, and this is like the saying of the internet, right? You don't really know somebody in their life, like what's going on off of social media. So whatever you're putting there, it is literally a manufactured, however you choose because you're allowed to, building your personal brand and who you are. So I don't even know where I'm at, but the water is an activation for me. And this is when it's like coming out. I'm like, oh my God, just shedding the layers like an onion, really anchoring into my body right now and being held steady by all of you guys and this water. So this is like bleh, stepping into the next versions of ourselves. Um, so you are your own brand, but your brand is still a facet of you. So when you understand that disconnection, okay, like I'm putting up this face for you on social media, you can interact with it or you cannot. That's totally cool. Then you get to these people that like want to go deeper with you. They get to peek inside your weirdness and your creativity and fire. And you can do that once you understand, okay, this is, a boundary. This is my personal brand. Then I'm me. You get to step into this. Okay, I get to be creative and weird and have this fire and truly self-express. Uh, um, scrolling on Snapchat. So when you get to self-express and be truly your own self, because you know that what you're sharing is half of who you are, and you are so much more to hold you, see you, love you in person, let it freaking rip. Like give people the chance to opt in or to opt out. Give them the chance, okay? And that's what I'm telling myself. I'm like, Torin, just go on there. Give them the chance. Give them the chance to say no. Give them the chance to say yes. Let that freak flag fly. Either way, like there's no other way. So, um, vital vulnerability is what's bringing trust, resonance, and movements. It's the water charge in all of our bodies is expanding our identity. So, as much as I am saying this for myself, I am saying this for everyone that it's meant to serve. Because when you look inside your weirdness, your creativity, your fire, and you let it rip, and you're giving people the opportunity to opt in or opt right out, that's leadership, that's clarity, that's resonance. That's how movements are built. So we are evolutionary, you guys. We are bound to evolve, and it gets a little uncomfortable sometimes. And that's why I'm here sharing with you guys vital vulnerability. Because for me, it's become a complete crazy detachment from performance, from learning who the most honest version of myself even is. Because honestly, this is all like reprogramming and de-shedding and peeling back the layers. The vital vulnerability is a strategy, and it's what makes people feel you. And this is how we rise together. And that's what I have for you guys. Yay!
Can I
That's what
just
I'm
say,
doing.
Torin, you literally embodied like one of the major messages of this call in the delivery. Like your screen froze, but you're just like, I'm still showing up because the message is here. I'm not going away.
Yes.
I love
It's
it.
it, it's and I'm just being honest with like a pattern that I see in myself and that like, like whatever, let me like coddle myself a little bit, but I don't want to be I want to I know I got some fire in me and some heart to share. Why the hell am I not sharing it? You know what I mean? So it's like this weird.
Yeah. And that light, it's everything that I just needed to hear right now. So I'm sure all of us are just like so liberated and refreshed by the permission that you gave us to just document our journey, to show up without it having to be anything like, what we're comparing ourselves to half the time. Just it is
Mhm.
what it is. Share it, please.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Um,
exciting.
I feel like, yeah, I totally vibe and resonate with everything you're saying, Torrin. And sometimes,
Mhm.
like lately, I've been telling myself because I actually, like, I just love sharing. I've been sharing before I even got into this business. And so to just be like, can't the sake of sharing to connect, like, be the reason? Like, why does it
Yeah.
have to be anything more than that? Like, I enjoy it. So let me just enjoy it and share what the fuck I want to share. Like, you know? So
Ah.
I love that. Just to make it so simple, like and and what I've also been doing with my own content is like I to before I post, I will make sure I am off social media for like a couple like, for a while. I'm off social media and I get quiet enough to hear and resell myself on the business. And then I post from that. And so I feel like that's really been supporting me as well with like how I've been showing up online and just not giving a fuck.
I love that because that gives you like the introspection, right? And that's kind of what I've been marinating on is like, it's like when you go to write in your journal and you're like, I don't know what I'm going to write, but then you just put the paper to the pen and like your heart just fell out of your chest. It's like, okay, that's an activation that I want to work with that's like where I want to start to write from is like, okay, pop out the journal, riff what's up for the day, and then boom, just transmute that. And so that's really, you do it so effortlessly and like sharing your heart is freaking badass. I love it so much. Anybody else want to share? I'm gonna get some water. 'Cause that made me thirsty.
So good, Torin. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I really resonated with a lot of that.
Yeah.
For one, being able to share what you want is so important. Like just because you see other people sharing like the deepest, darkest everythings of their life, you don't have to. There's a lot of things I've never shared. I still like don't share certain aspects of my life, and it's not
Mhm.
because I'm scared. It's just because those conversations and those openings are for certain people in my life.
Yeah.
They're not for everybody. And same like with other people, like if I'm lucky enough to know you or you open up about certain things, like I feel super grateful and I want to return that in many ways. And the way I run my business is like I'll share the surface level of a lot of things, but not the depth. And
Hmm.
it's not because I'm a coward or I'm afraid, or it's because I just choose not to. I don't want to, and I don't need to explain that to anybody.
Hmm.
Coaches are like, you need to get more vulnerable. And I'm like, I just don't want to. It's not something I want to do. Maybe that works for you and for other people, but it's not how I want to do it. And it's like, you still show up and just do it how you want and what feels good to you. Because you're connecting with people no matter what. And yeah, and just I love what you shared today. Thank you so much. And I'm so excited for your transition, and we're all excited to watch it firsthand.
Yeah. It's what you said reminds me, I'm really into this Brene Brown book right now. She says something along the lines of when people are trying to define boundaries of like where to be vulnerable, if you're sharing whatever it is that's vulnerable for you to share, but not for like the approval or the feedback of other people, but truly taking that vulnerability in for you, it not like something that's maybe like hurt inside that you want to share to get reaffirmed from other people outside of you. And have rumbling with vulnerability in that form where it's like, I have my boundary. Like, am I looking to be, I don't want to say coddled, but like be filled the void with other people's opinions about what my vulnerable situation, or am I truly sharing this because it's an expression of like myself in this moment? And so yeah, that's awesome. I love that, your boss.
I love that. I
Yeah.
agree. And I think that sometimes in this business it can get really confusing to people who are not like very like like can get swayed very easily because like some people are just more strategic. Some people are like don't want to share. Like and that's okay. And some people I don't know. Like I just think that there's no wrong fucking way to do it. And I think we search for like some sort of right way, and the only right way is whatever makes us feel good. Like that
Yeah.
is the right way. So to let strategic people be strategic and let fucking I don't even know really I don't know
Yeah.
what would you categorize the other spectrum of it, like more energetic
Yeah.
emotion, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
because I think I find I be sharing shit, but it's because I
Uh-huh.
actually enjoy it, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
something that I just have always done.
Yeah.
um and then I actually love the both spectrums. I'm like I need more strategy, and I'm like no,
Yeah.
now I need to share more. Like I don't even know.
Yeah.
I think it's just all about finding what feels good to you. I don't know what I'm rambling about, but
No, it
I
makes
lost my
sense.
track. I lost the track of thought there. But the
It's like
fact of the
coming
matter
from your
is
truth.
yeah, there's no wrong way to do it. If you try and change somebody to be more vulnerable, then they are stepping. Yeah, this is where I was going.
Yeah.
Then you're pushing them to like be out of alignment with who they are, and then it fucking fucks everything up. That's how I feel.
Mhm. Yep.
That's what I was gonna
Yep. And that's where it's like, okay, how are we finding the balance and like stepping into that and like sharing that with other people because that's the fire. And I feel like it's such a, I don't know, I'm not gonna blame it on the school system or things like that, but it's such a deep programming to have this approval of other people, this fear of failure, this shame around perfectionism, which is all just like bull hunky. It's not our truest form, it's not our truest expression. And that's what's all melting away from me in this time. I'm just like, and it feels crazy. So thank you guys for coming. I love every single one of you so much. It's good to see you guys. Good to see you, Celia and Sandy, Dominique, Amanda, and stuff. And thank you for holding through my fire. I think or my fire, my windstorm.
thank you,
All
Torin.
right. I
Thank
think I'm
you.
frozen. I love you. Bye.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I'm stuck.
I'm still here.
I know. I'm like I'm trying to press the end button. Like, this doesn't want to end.